Welcome, welcome, welcome to Dingers and Dashers. My name is Josh alongside my co-host Adam. It's a great day to talk all things hockey and baseball. Let's get right into it. And Adam, wow, did we just see the best Game 7 in World Series history?
Josh, not just the Game 7. We saw one of the best World Series I have ever seen, and anybody has ever seen. We need to break down that Game 7 most of all. What a World Series we had, Josh.
Yeah, wow. Who expected this thing to go seven? I will say, I did expect it to go 7 games. Everyone told me I was crazy. Everyone told me the Dodgers were going to steamroll them. The Blue Jays held their own. Now, it is true. I did predict against the Dodgers in every single round of this playoffs. I did get it wrong there. The Dodgers are just a powerhouse and showing me again and again. I guess it was just the underdog in me hoping for a different victor. But let's just start with Shohei Ohtani. Sure, you can maybe pick apart small parts of the pitching. Maybe the pitching wasn't all there. But let's talk about the dang hitting. And let's talk about NLCS game 7 or game 5, game 4. Game 4, they swept. He went yard 3 times and struck out 10 hitters. But why stop there? He comes to the World Series. He starts delivering hits and hits. This guy's Shohei Ohtani. He's the epitome of baseball right now.
Yeah, Josh, we saw something. I mentioned this in my short. We saw him get the Barry Bonds treatment, something that nobody has been getting. Shohei Ohtani was intentionally walked and just walked in general time after time because you can't pitch to him. He gets a hit, not just a hit, he gets a home run every single time. Josh, did have a bunch of strikeouts. He had his fair share, over 20 strikeouts. He had his fair share of mistakes at the bat, but oh, he more than made up for it. Shohei Ohtani was incredible. He started game 7, was lights out there. Gave up a couple runs, but he was phenomenal for most of the game.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's really just starting to settle in. We have a phenom on our hands. Obviously, we've known it for years how good Shohei is, but
yeah.
it's finally starting to click, and I'm finally starting to really think about like this is the guy. It was maybe it was Harper when he first came to the league. It was Soto. It's been Judge. This is legitimately the first two-way threat we've seen in decades in MLB. There's a rule named after him at this point. The Otani rule is that if a pitcher starts in a game, there's a starting pitcher, they can move to just be hitting or move to a different position. But if a pitcher comes in relief and they get taken out of the pitching side, they're done for the game, which is part of the reason Shohei did start at that game 7. You have a guy who's going to go out there, strike out 10 hitters, turn around and hit 3 homers.
Yeah, Josh, I gotta be honest, I was silly. I was one of those guys who's like, oh, Shohei's overrated. The MLB posts way too much about him. I hate seeing all this stuff. It's just Shohei. But this kid's not overrated. Shohei Ohtani's incredible. Another incredible Japanese phenom, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Josh, he's the real deal. He's more than the real deal. He is unreal. World Series MVP. He pitched 3 games, Josh. It was incredible.
Not only 3 games, he was throwing complete games at him. The only game in the World Series that he threw that wasn't a complete game was game 7, just because he didn't start. I'm sure if that game went more innings, he would have pitched into the 95th inning. This guy is incredible. He's so efficient, so effective with the pitches that he throws, and I think he's just so deserving of winning that World Series MVP. One more guy I do want to talk about, Roki Sasaki. Roki Sasaki had a really rough start to the season. We all saw it. I drafted him in the 3rd round of my fantasy draft. That was a pretty poopy decision on my part. But he got hurt. We all have seen the clip. He was crying in the dugout. He got all this hate online. What did he do? He put his head down. He worked hard. He came back, and he was a bona fide closer for the Dodgers in this postseason. And sure, maybe he had one start where I think, or one relief appearance where things got out of hand, and it's easy to focus on that. But Roki Sasaki is the guy that I have my eye on for next season. He had a tough start to the season. He went down. He reinvented himself. He came back and he helped them go on a World Series run. I think that's honestly all you could ask for. Whether he's your favorite player or your least favorite player, that's all you could hope for in an athlete and a player.
Yeah, Josh, when he came back, he was the best closer in baseball, without a doubt. In the playoffs, he's the best closer in baseball. He showed it. His stuff is nasty. Him and Yamamoto, with Yamamoto's curveball, with Sasaki's splitter. I mean, these guys breaking stuff is incredible. Their fastballs are electric too, and what they're doing, I don't know how anyone hits it. It's incredible. But I want to go one more thing about Yamamoto. I mean, his arm. How does he do this? In game two, he pitched a complete game. In game three, the next day, he wanted to go again. He wanted to pitch. He was warming up in that 18th inning to go. I mean, Yamamoto, come on. He went pitched game six and then came in to pitch game seven again. I mean, these Japanese guys, they're
Yeah,
incredible, dude.
game 6 and 7 was definitely interesting to see him back out there. I was fortunate enough to be at the game in Camden Yards this season where he was 1 out away from pitching a no-hitter. And then actually the Orioles came back to win.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. Um, as much as the Dodgers are a great team, and obviously they won the World Series, it wouldn't have been a close contested series without looking at their opponent in well, I guess they're not red hot anymore, but the Blue Jays. Wow, who had that on their map this season, Adam? The Blue Jays finished in dead last in the AL East last year. They were not a good team. Vlad in the offseason wanted to be traded. He made it publicly known that he does not want to be in the Blue Jays anymore. Or they do 162 games later, they're in the World Series. I definitely want to give Ernie Clement his flowers, Addison Barger his flowers. What those guys were able to do was just so impressive. That game, I think it was game one against the Dodgers, where they put up like 9 runs in the seventh inning. Like that's the explosive offense I've been talking about for the last like 4 weeks on this podcast. And they finally showed how well they could do it on baseball's biggest stage. I really just can't wait to see what they have to do next year.
Yeah, Josh, they have that mentality. Everybody hits, everybody scores. When they have a big inning, they have a big inning. We saw that in game one. We saw that all over. When one guy hits, everybody wants to hit. Alejandro Kirk, I know he hit into a double play at the end of the game, but he was phenomenal this series. But yeah, Ernie Clement, my guy, Bills Mafia member, spent the day watching the Bills at the Rochester pub after the World Series. He didn't sit around moping. He went and watched the Buffalo Bills. That's good stuff, Ernie. But yeah, Blue Jays, a lot to love there. Not how they wanted to end. Everybody was so devastated. I know everybody's rooting against the Dodgers. Everybody in the U.S. even like it wasn't U.S. versus Canada, which people were thinking it was going to be. U.S. people didn't want the Dodgers to win. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a little upsetting.
And just that moment in the ninth inning where Andy Paez comes and uh, decks Kike Hernandez, or no, was it Kike? Yeah, I think it was Kike.
It was Kike.
It was
Yeah, it was
Kike.
Kike.
Decks him to just catch that ball. I'll insert a clip right here. Yeah, and right from that clip right there, you could see how into this game everyone was. Baseball fans, non-baseball fans, everybody was watching. It was a great game. To me, it would have been even greater if IKF comes in to score that run. But Adam, suffice to what people might think, it maybe isn't his fault. Tell me more about exactly what happened. You know the play. He comes home. He's out by, the fraction of an inch.
Yeah, Josh, it was a little upsetting to see all the hate that Isaiah kind of Falefa was getting on the internet. I mean, Blue Jays fans, just fans around the league were furious at him. And what you guys might be wondering if you didn't see it, he did not take a big lead at third base with 1 out, the ball on the ground. He did not take a huge secondary. He was out at home, even though the ball was bobbled, and he should have been safe if he was taking a big lead. But there was a lot of speculation of why did he take a big lead? What was going on here? And it was rumored that he said it himself. The Blue Jays told him, you have to be near the bag. You cannot take a big lead because there's 1 out, bases loaded. If a ball is hit to third base, line drive, you need to be able to get back. We don't want you getting picked off. That was something Whit Merrifield, former teammate of Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, went on Twitter and was saying this, like, yeah, he did everything perfectly there. You have like It's a fundamental rule with bases loaded, one out. You have to be near the bag. You cannot get doubled up on a line drive. My only thing against this philosophy and against what was I'm not blaming Isaiah for left here. I'm blaming maybe the Blue Jays. Max Muncy was not close to the bag. He was way off if you take a look. And I get that, yeah, you still don't want to get picked off, and he probably could have got there even if kind of Philadelphia took a big lead. But I mean, maybe be a little bit more aggressive. It is the World Series. Take a chance. But if he does get doubled up, everybody's gonna be like, why are you not being close? It's the fundamental rule. So there's really no way
Yeah,
you can go around it.
and it's definitely so much easier to kind of say that now, not in that environment, days later, sitting in our living rooms. It's so much easier to say, "Oh, just take a bigger lead." That's so obvious. Obviously, it's pretty tough to make these decisions. One thing I will say, speaking of managers making decisions, I can't stand these interviews they're doing with the managers in the middle of games in the dugouts. Ken Rosenthal going down there. I think some of his articles are great. I just don't like that you have a manager trying to bring their team to a World Series victory. It's game seven. It's intense. And you're asking them, "Oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" They don't want to talk to you right now. It's not the time.
Yeah, not only that, they're not going to give you serious answers. They're not going to give you answers from their heart because they don't want to talk to you. I mean, it's
Yep.
ridiculous. You do this in regular season games. You do this in spring training. You don't do this in the playoffs, especially now in the World Series. I'm with you, Josh. Get rid of this, Ken.
Well, we'd like to see improvements next year. Let me just put a little thing on the radar. It's way too early for MLB predictions, but I want to give the AL East some love for next year. We saw what the Blue Jays did. We saw how the Yankees leveled up. They got Cam Schlittler. He's going. Judge is just showing no signs of slowing down. The Orioles, I mean, if they do worse than they did this season, I'm going to have even more questions. I think the Orioles are poised to hopefully start, being a more competitive team. They definitely have the talent. The Red Sox today, Trevor Story just confirmed he'll be there for 2 more years, a $55 million deal. I am forgetting a team. The Tampa Bay Rays, yeah, they're a pretty good ball club too. I think that the AL East next year is going to be on fire. I can't wait to watch it. Also in the East, the National League East, the Nats. Oh my God. The clouds parted, the sun came into DC. They heard our prayers. They heard everything we were asking for. We have new management for the Nats. It is long overdue. I liked Miguel Cairo and David Martinez, not so much as managers. They seem like pretty good people. But Blake Butera, 33 years old, the youngest MLB manager in 30 some odd years. He's here. He's an analytics guy. He's a cutting edge manager. Oh my God, was I happy to see it.
Yeah, Josh, some could say maybe he's not as qualified as some other guys, but the Nats didn't need that. The Nats don't need that. They need a young, fresh guy who's just going to bring some more energy, bring some analytics. Just they need something different. And I think when you bring something different into a ball club, we say this time after time, like something different, something different, something different. But I think really starting fresh, starting young is different, is something new. And the Nats need fresh, new. They need all that. Come on.
And it's not just a small tweak. You're changing the culture because right now there's not a winning culture in DC. I know we're just a baseball hockey podcast. We'll get to the mess with the Caps later. Honestly, right now across all of DC, there's not a winning culture. Wizards haven't won a game in I think weeks, and the Commanders are dealing with all sorts of injuries and
Jane Daniels,
misfortunes.
the Jane Daniels injury. That
It
I don't
was
want to talk about. That's
gross.
gross. It was
It
gross.
was disgusting. But the Nats honestly could be a beacon of, well, the Caps, they're going to get back on track soon. But these Nats, they could really be something next year. And I'm not saying, okay, World Series run incoming 2026. But I'm saying with a healthy Dylan Cruz, James Wood, maybe with a new hitting coach, kind of refining that swing with all the other young guys, with Dalen Lyle, who just, wow, he's pretty good. I think that the Nats, with the right moves in this offseason with this new front office, I think that they can be a lot better. And I think that they can make significant strides in the rebuild. It doesn't happen overnight, it doesn't happen in a season. But this is the correct step to accelerate without taking shortcuts in this process.
Yeah, Josh, 33 years old, Blake Butera. That's his age. And I got my trivia question for you today, Josh.
Okay.
It has to do with Blake Butera and his age of 33 years old. Josh, there's only one Washington Nationals player on the 40-man roster under contract with them next season that is older than Blake Butera. Can you give me who's the player and what's his age?
All right. 33.
Yeah, only one player. Very surprising, actually.
One player. Okay. All right. The Nats are a pretty young team. It's going to be a veteran guy. Jake Irvin's 27, I think. Speaking of traded, shout out Alex Call, former Nat, for winning a World Series. Throwback now to the
Congrats, buddy.
week. Um, Give me Trevor Williams.
Josh, you are correct again. It is Trevor Williams.
Come
40,
on!
40 years old. He is 7 years older than Blake Butera.
Trevor
Wow.
Williams is 40?
He is 40 years old, Josh.
No, is he? Hold on. What? Wait, I thought he was like 35. He's
Josh, Trevor
40?
Trevor Williams was born in 1992, April 25th. He is old.
Yo, what? Trevor Williams is not 40. He is?
According to Google, Josh, Trevor Williams is 40 years old. Let's fact check this right now.
Wait,
But
Adam, he's 33 years old. 1992 is 33 years old.
then what is this fucking thing telling me?
Breaking news. Trevor Williams is not 40 years old, folks. Is it? Did I at least get it right? Was it Trevor Williams, though?
Ah, yes. He's older.
Oh my God. Okay. That's all great fun. Something that's not great fun is the Caps. What the heck is going on? I'm going to preface this. I'm not concerned about the entire season, but here on the podcast, it's our job to look at the Caps in 1 week installments. And based on the last week, the last 4 games that the Caps have played, going 0 for 4, I am really upset and really nervous right now. I mean, you win games by scoring goals, and when you don't score goals, you don't win games. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's getting a little worrisome. Yeah, the Caps need to turn it around. It's just the energy's not there. There's just something not clicking for the team. It doesn't have to do with the goalkeeper, it doesn't have to do with the defenders. It doesn't have to do with like the offensive players not playing well. It just has to do with them not scoring goals. Like I feel like we're playing well in certain aspects. We're getting a lot of shots. We're just not generating the chances that you need. I think we got a little lucky last year on that kind of stuff because again, we didn't. I don't think we generated enough high danger chances every single game. We just I think we scored more of our high danger chances last year than what we've been doing this year. You know what I mean,
Yeah,
Josh?
definitely. I think last year the Caps had a lot more puck luck than they might be having this year. Um, Granted, like our shooting percentage was a lot better last year, and I get it's early, and that shooting percentage has a lot of time to go up. But seems things seem to just bounce our way last year. Chikrin would fire a shot through every single other person on the ice, and it would like somehow find the top corner. Ovi would just thread the needle. We're gonna get to Ovi in a minute. Things just don't seem to be bouncing the Caps' way. And I think that also is going to extend down to injuries. Strome missed a small chunk of time, and now it looks like and now Strome is back. Looks like Pierre-Luc Dubois is going to be out for a really, really extended period of time. He was moved to the IR. It's really scary to see your center who signed to an 8-year deal go down on year 2 of that deal. Obviously, like he'll get back. It's just not encouraging, and it's really tough to be playing without a second line center, having to kind of reshuffle lines because every game with the current rotating door of injuries, you're putting out a different lineup, different chemistry. I mean, Ovechkin was skating with Leonard and Milano last game. Like that to me just didn't really make sense. I get Strome and Ovi and Protas, it's not really clicking right now. But like you're doing something unique with Leonard and Milano, and those are two guys who are really dynamic and can really fit in with some other fast, speedy players. I'll be honest, Alex Ovechkin, like you know better than anyone that we love him and that and we respect him so much. He's kind of diminishing the play of the people around him on the ice right now. Like he's turning over pucks. He's not really connecting passes. Shots are not hitting the net. So when you have these two really special talents in Leonard and Milano, As crazy as it might sound to say, don't let Ovi drag them down on the ice like he kind of seemed to be doing last game.
Yeah, I know what you mean. For everybody out there, he's not saying that Ovi's not he's not bringing the shots. He's not going to bring goals to the line. He's just saying overall, Ovi isn't adding much to Ryan Leonard and and Sonny Milano. Sorry, not Matt Milano. Sonny, big win for the Bills.
Third
Sonny
time,
Milano.
third time.
Yeah, it happens a lot. But yes, he's not adding a lot to those speedy young guys who have a lot of talent to bring because he's just standing around there and they need guys who are willing to also skate with him. I think Ovechkin brings more to somebody like Strome who always wants to find the open man rather than Ryan Leonard who's looking for more goals. Um,
Yeah, it's tough. As of Tuesday evening when we're recording this, the Caps are currently sitting in last place in the Metropolitan Division right now. The Flyers and the Islanders tied with them for 13 points. Here's the interesting thing. If we're talking about the Nats right now, having the record the Caps have 6-6, it's 500. It's all fun and games. But we said going into the season that we've seen how good these Caps can be. I'm just not seeing it right now. And a lot of it, honestly, also is coming down to the power play. Honestly, it looks like the power play is helping the other team more than it's helping us. I saw a good tweet on Twitter that asked if the Caps can start declining power plays. And that's how you know we're really at rock bottom right now. The Caps, per data-driven hockey, have the 18th, or they're, let me rephrase this stat. 22.6% of the Caps goals this season have come off the power play. The power play is also horrendous right now. So that kind of speaks to how the Caps just aren't scoring enough goals 5-on-5, but also just like more pucks need to go in the net. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Josh, I know what you're saying. There just needs to be a change. There needs to be goals. We want changes everywhere. We want changes in Washington with all the teams. I mean, all the teams are kind of looking low right now, but the Caps are not there yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have 4 games upcoming this week before Wednesday, our next episode. Blues at the Capitals. The Capitals going over to Pittsburgh on Thursday after the game, back-to-back days, and then Caps hosting the Lightning on Saturday night, and then at the Carolina Hurricanes, a little rematch of the playoffs last year on Tuesday night. We have some good games in store. Let's preview them, Josh.
Yeah, so the Blues are coming into this game 2-8 in their last 10. They've dropped 8 of their last 10 games. So the Caps really need to jump on this. I know the Caps have dropped 4 games, but I think that there's wide open opportunity for both teams in this game. The Caps need to be the first team to jump on the forecheck, to jump on the ice, dictate the pace, dictate the lines that the Blues are putting out. Put your top line out there and force the Blues to put out a defensive line. Don't let the Blues dictate your game at home. The Caps need to jump on the forecheck, generate shots on goal, and stay out of the penalty box. Their penalty kill from last year was amazing. It's struggling a little bit right now. Highlighting Wilson did take 19 penalty minutes in the first 20 minutes of the game Saturday that the Caps ended up losing. So I think it's really important to stay out of the box and generate shots, and that is also going to go for the Penguins game. The Penguins right now are actually at the top of the Metro Division, but if you get that win and you keep that energy rolling into the back-to-back, which granted might be tough to go play a second game in 2 days on the road, you're knocking off a team that's at the top of the division that you're fighting to get to the top of. It's also a rival, and those two things can really propel the Caps to great success.
Yeah, the Blues are going to be eyeing this game because they're going to be like, well, the Caps are a great team, but they're at a low right now, and this is a game that the Blues can take advantage of and they can gain energy from. So I think both these teams, it's an energy game based game. Both teams want to win this game for the future, for the next couple of games, so that they can both get a run because currently they're both struggling. The Blues have given up the most amount of goals this season, and the Caps have scored the least amount of goals this season. So
Some
something could
some
change here.
something's got to give in that game.
Exactly. Again, that Caps Penguins game is going to be a great one. Always fun with the rivalries, always a big energy boost. And I think the Blues game will dictate that game for sure.
And who knows how many more times we see Ovi and Crosby go at it. I mean, the last regular season game for the Caps is at Capital One Arena, where Ovi and Crosby are going to share the ice one last time in the regular season, assuming this is Ovi's last season. Just enjoy it. whatever happens, just enjoy seeing the two of them out there.
It's always special. It's always special. And then we have the Capitals at the Lightning. Tampa Bay has won 5 straight as of right now, as the time of us filming it. They're hot. We beat them early in the season at home. Now we're at Tampa. This is going to be a tough game. This could be a trap game if we win. Let's say we win against the Blues and the Penguins. This could be a game maybe we fall. I wouldn't be too mad if we win those 2 games because then we have to go to the Carolina, and I think this is a game we can win, even though it seems like more of a tough matchup. But I think the Caps have this in the back of their mind. They want to beat Carolina. I think the Lightning is a little bit more of like a Saturday night. Like the Lightning have more energy at home. They've also won 5 straight, and they're hot right now. But I think if we can win at 3 out of the 4, I'd be electrified. I'd be so happy because this is a tough stretch, even with the Blues not playing very well.
Yeah,
But
and that's on Tuesday. They've won 5 straight. Something to keep in mind is by the time we get to Saturday night, the Lightning could be in disarray based on how their games go this week. It's really a case by case basis. But yeah, that Hurricanes match, like that's big, not just for this season, but for those players who probably spent the entire offseason and so far this season thinking about that series. You know, for Logan Thompson, even he caught a little bit of flack from fans for maybe some parts of his performance in that series. LT's great. He's been playing great this season. This is the time to really get to that next level and continue to play great because for some of these guys, like it's gonna sit with them until they can finally knock off the Hurricanes. So this is a huge mental battle going into it. But if the Caps can figure out what's happening on the second line with Dubois' injury, the Caps can maybe straighten out that power play a little bit. I don't see what's going to stop them once they're doing all the right things with their players.
yeah, Josh, I'm really excited. But those 3 road games in a row are going to be very tough. Penguins, Lightning, and Hurricanes. I mean, that's really tough, Josh. But I'm excited. It's an action-packed week of NHL hockey for the Capitals, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, when we see you guys again next Wednesday, I hope to be saying that the Caps have 21 points instead of the 13 they have now. We have 8 points to win this week. Let's go out there. Let's at least get 6 of those points. Get it done. Get it going. And I don't want to get those points in overtime losses. I want to get those points the right way, winning. One thing we'll talk about is we did finally have our first shootout this past week. We did end up falling in that game. We touched on this before the season. It seems that Coach Carberry is not watching our podcast closely enough.
Come on, Coach Carbs. Like, come on. Put your sunglasses on. Have some fun with it. Stop being so stuck up with the shootouts.
I got chills when you put on those sunglasses. That was pretty cool. But why aren't Leonard and Milano shooting? Why is Ovi like shooting, just skating right up to the goalie, shooting his pads? Like, why isn't Leonard out there? Why isn't Milano out there? It's the simple things. When you have guys who could dangle, put them into shootout.
That's my words.
Yeah,
That's all I
don't
gotta
know.
say.
It's tough right now, but we have a lot of good that can come this week, and we just need to do it.
Let's do it. Let's have some fun. Come on.
Let's do it. Thank you guys for watching this week's edition of Dingers and Dashers. If you learned something new, drop a like. That might even be the real age of Trevor Williams, the Nats'
Yeah,
33-year-old pitcher.
he's like 3 months older. It was still a true fact. It just wasn't 40 years old.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't 40 years old. Thank you all again for watching. Email us at dingersanddashers@gmail.com. Go drop us a follow on X and on Instagram at Dingers and Dashers. Subscribe. Do all the great things that we love for our Dinger Nation to do. And we will see
Dinger
you all.
Nation.
Dinger Nation. That's the fan base. We will see you guys next week. See you later.